Hi, my name's Kirsty Bortoft and I am the CEO and the founder of the Freedom Alignment Method. I'm also an Ashaya monk meditation teacher and I'm also a published author on the book called Break Free from Pain. And today I'm here to talk to you about this book, Break Free from Pain, which is my first ever book. Oh my gosh, this has been a journey. So let me tell you all about what Break Free from Pain is about. Okay, so the title might give it away slightly. This journey started 15 years ago, and my goodness, I remember going and having my palm read years ago. And this guy said to me, "You're going to write a book." And I just looked at him and thought, he's not very good, this palm reader. Oh, golly gosh, he was right. So I never thought I'd write a book because I am completely convinced I'm dyslexic. So I never thought I would. But it just kind of manifested that I got to this point in my journey where I just thought, how can I impact more lives? How can I share this like unreal knowledge that has come to me through a collection of ways? One, I've worked with some of the globe's most insanely conscious teachers. It has been like a miracle, really. I don't even know how I've ended up in these right places at the right time, but I just have. I've worked with Maharishi Krishnananda, who is my now spiritual teacher. I've been to seminars with Joe Dispenza and Tony Robbins, and I've read books on. Oh my gosh, I've read every self-help book, motivational book, meditation, consciousness book, how to get rich book, how to lose weight. I've read it all, and the last 15 years brought me to this point where, through working with some incredible humans and my clients, I have to say I've been so lucky that I've worked with so many amazing people from all walks of life, from all parts of the world. And through me working with them, something started to happen, and I started to recognize that there was a real commonality with all human beings, all the ones that I was working with and myself. And that was that we have this desire, this drive to want more. We all do. We all want more. We want to, if we're really honest, live a happy life. We want to feel great. We want to create things and do well and be praised and fall in love, and we want it all, right? It's not rocket science, and I wouldn't have to go far to have anybody back this statement up. And one of the things that was happening was people were coming to me as coaching clients, with maybe stress or anxiety, or they were coming to me with some physical pain. Maybe they were just turning up when they felt like their motivation had gone, or they're doing really well in their careers, but they just couldn't enjoy it. It's because they couldn't enjoy all this money and success they'd made because they couldn't stop this busy mind. They couldn't like switch it off. And especially when they went to lie down and go to sleep, it was like a motorway of cars attacking them. And it became really clear quite quickly that that throughout my own journey, and then through seeing other clients, that it has to change. All of this, any change has to start on the inside. And so when I was doing my mastery with the Ashayas monks, which was a mastery of the self, where I studied with some Ashayas on a type of meditation called ascension, which means to rise above the mind, I'd got to a point on my own journey where I was craving, I was hungry to know what I was doing on this planet, and what this was, and why it had such a significant impact on how I felt. And I started learning more, and I started seeing this in other clients as well. I was like, oh my gosh, like even if people weren't aware that's what they were searching for, they might be saying to me things like, I just want to wake up and feel like me, or I just want to stop like feeling like overwhelmed all the time, or I just want to, like, God, this back pain, it just doesn't ever go. I want to get rid of it. I just want to stop feeling anxious. I want to feel normal. I want to feel normal. And then once I'd get clients to that stage of like the pain going or the anxiety going, the truth was, it wasn't they wanted to feel normal. They wanted more than normal. And the next part was, actually they wanted to feel happy, content, alive. They wanted to feel like their best version. They wanted to feel like that at the end of their life, if they were asked, have they fulfilled their life, that they could turn around and say, yes, I have. I have lived my life to the fullest. I have fallen in love. I've felt, I've been emotional. I've moved through things. I've grown, I've learned. And So it became really apparent that when I started working with clients who were suffering with anxiety, stress, and chronic pain and illness, that there was a massive amount of patterns in human behavior. Now, I fell in love with human behavior I fell in love with it by, first of all, by seeing Tony Robbins, who was just so awe-inspiring and amazing and dynamic and powerful. And God, he had the answer to life in my eyes when I saw him, and especially because of the place I was in at the time. And he seemed to like really have a grip on what humans were like and how he behaved. And so I started reading a lot about human behavior and got really into it, and found it's quite fascinating the fact that, we're not really that different from each other. We're not. We either are living in this expansive experience of unconditional love, or we're identified with the mind and we're living in fear. It's literally one or the other. And most of us swing in and out of that experience all day long, unaware of it actually. And so the more I learned about this, the more I saw it in clients, and the more I started to realize that if I use some of these techniques and things that I'd learned and how I'd seen patterns in my clients' behavior, it would start to change them. And I don't mean them as a personality, but the way they felt. They would start having more days where they felt good, and then they would start liking themselves again, and then they'd start to like feel inspired, and then they'd start to feel like anything's possible, and then they would start to fulfill the dreams, and they'd follow the things that they loved and desired, and just so wonderful. So anyways, through this journey of like working with people from fibromyalgia, which supposedly is non-curable, to working back pain, arthritis, anxiety, depression, you name it, it wasn't the label of the illness or the thing that was going on with the person that really was important. What I came to realize very quickly, that underneath all these labels and behaviors, that people are very, very similar, and actually it all boiled down to one thing, and that was this magical word of stress. And so I became really obsessed with stress and fascinated by what it was. What is it? Good? Is it bad? What is it? Some people tell me that they're motivated by stress. I mean, surely that's got to be good. But how come then other people are feeling similarly, like starting to manifest like things in their body and their mind? And it came really clear to me that stress wasn't the problem actually at all. It was the relationship towards stress that was the problem. And that led me to a massive journey of inward discovery. And it started with me. It did. It started with me. And I then magically manifested my own illnesses. I had a thyroid issue, which led to heart failure. And, because I've been doing all this studying and all this, research, I was in hospital, and after 10 days, they let me out with a bag of drugs. And I was like, I'm not taking these drugs. I know more about the mind and body. I can't do this. This is against what I believe in. So I went on a massive journey of working out why I create this thyroid issue. And basically the freedom alignment method was then born, which is the process and method that I use today with my clients. It's an amalgamation of many teachings that I've learned along the way that just work. I don't feel like I own these teachings. I've happened to have been there to learn them, and I've created that with sort of seeing patterns of behavior and my own discovery, my own healing, and create this system. And this system works because it is simple. It's simple because it does one thing and one thing only. It addresses the cause of why somebody is out of homeostasis. It addresses the reason why you got there in the first place, not why the thing is there, but what happened in the first place for it to begin. And so I work with clients today where we don't just faff around with how they're feeling today. I'm interested because I like them, and that's cool, but I am so much more interested in getting to the root cause. And that's what we do, is we nail the root cause. And once we've got the root cause through this process, we start to remove the actual reasons why somebody feels like they do. Once they start to remove, it's very simple: cause and effect. The cause is the problem, the effect is the symptoms. When you remove the cause disappears, there is no effect. It starts to disappear too, and they then return back into homeostasis. So what have I done? I've thought, well, what I need to do is I need to share this with the world. So I've written a book. The book is called Break Free from Pain. There is some amazing testimonials in there, and I'm not sharing the testimonials for me. I'm sharing them with you because they're real people living real lives with real issues, and they're very relatable. And these people have kindly allowed me to share their stories in this first part of the book. I then go on to not messing around. I'm going to give you a solution. If you're in pain right now, emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, then I know you don't care who I am. I know really you just want a solution. So that's what I've done. You have got one of my signature parts of the Freedom Alignment Method in the book, which will, if you use it, work. Now, one of the things I will say to you is it may take more than one go. If you are of an age like me, where you're over halfway through your life potentially, then you know, the likelihood is that you've built up some sort of stress, trauma, suppressed emotions in your subconscious mind that maybe need addressing more than once. That's okay. The truth is, the bigger the pain, the more there is to let go of, and that's a fact. So you might have to do this exercise more than once. Don't lose patience. What I will tell you is if you do it, you will get a result. And then finally, at the end, once I've taken you through the process, we leave you in a very upward spiraling state. And then if you are interested, then there's a little bit about who I am and how I got here today. But that's not as important as the actual Freedom Alignment Method, where I share with you some of my signature moves and grooves that I do with my clients today. But of course, you know, if you feel like you need some sort of support, and some of you probably will, because the mind is very tricky, the egoic mind is a control freak, and it will try to revert you into old programs. That's its job. It's not the enemy. It's been programmed to do that. It likes to keep you in your comfort zone. The problem is some of the things you're doing in your comfort zone are hindering you. They're not supporting you. So in order to break free from that, you have to do something different. As Einstein said, the definition of insanity is repeating the same behavior and expecting a different result. Human beings are very good at that. So don't worry. If you're somebody who feels they need some support, don't stress. Get in touch, because that's what I'm here to do. But if you feel you can do this on your own, then just do it and let me know how you get on, because I will be so excited. And the driving force for me to write this book was one thing. If this book changes one person's life, then I feel like I've done my job. So please, 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 if that's you, then let me know, because I want to know every success story that comes off the back of this book. Other than that, any other questions, get in touch. I hope you enjoy the book. It's been a pleasure writing it, and I look forward to meeting you one day.